Hey guys, it's me Cosmic, and today we're going to talk about furry conventions and the scaling issues that has become more of a problem as the years go by. Now, as I said in previous videos, the furry fandom has grown significantly, which is actually quite nice to see. I still remember when the furry fandom was so small that people didn't even know that it existed. Well, most people didn't. This has also helped the smaller furry conventions to grow and new ones to be created. This does, however, cause a few concerns for furry conventions, specifically concerns about scale. To make this easy to understand, let's take a look at an article written by Soatok. I will leave a link to it in the description for those who are interested in all the nitty-gritty details and the mathematics behind it. Also, I will make sure to link other videos made by other furry content creators that helped me get a better understanding as well as refresh my memory about this topic and thus were helpful in the creation of this video. But in short, FurryCon saw an average of 12.4% growth year over year since 2000. If you only focus on the past decade, which includes a dip during the pandemic, their growth rate was about 12.6. Midwest Fur Fest grew by an average of 17.9% since 2000 and 17.8% since 2013, omitting the cancelled year. Furry Weekend Atlanta grew by an average of 26.3% or 25.9% if you only look at 2015 and 2024. Texas Furry Fiesta saw an overall growth of 31.8% since its first year and 2009, and a growth rate of 17.4% over the past decade. Megaplex has grew 24.6% each convention with a 25.2% growth since 2013. Now, the issue that overcrowding can cause are solvable, thankfully. However, they will take some time as well as dedication, as well as the community support. Now, this brings us to how does a furry convention come to be? Furry conventions are more complicated than it looks. There is a lot of work and effort in the background that usually goes unnoticed. Things such as having a staff for the convention. Are you incorporated? Do you have a separate bank account for the organization? Do you have budget? Do you have a hotel or other venue booked? Do you have a signed contract with a venue? Did you read the contract in its entirety? That is something that you always do, by the way, regardless of if it's a furry convention or not. If you get a contract or anything, read it from start to finish. Do you have liability insurance? Do you have legal counsel, and so on and so on and so on? Keep in mind, everything I just said, this is only a fraction of what actually goes behind it. It is monumental. Now, of course, there are ways to help the size issue, and FurCons in general. Number one is volunteering. Now, don't worry, we tend to imagine volunteering as sitting at a desk all day and just missing out on all of the fun. However, this isn't quite true. When you volunteer for a furry convention, you get to choose what you will be focusing on. Things, for example, things like fursuit support, event handling, and so on. Thus, you can find what you are comfortable with and work on that. The same thing applies to time as well. Generally speaking, some cons have a go for technique going on. So you only work when needed. You just pop in, do your work, and then pop out. And, spend the rest of the time having fun at the furry convention. Although this specific part doesn't apply to all furry conventions. Many do have a minimum hour volunteering going on. Now keep in mind, volunteering doesn't necessarily result in no benefits whatsoever. On the contrary, in fact, there are a lot of benefits to actually volunteering. For example, registration discounts, gaining access to staff lounge, and priority access to hotel reservations. A lot of you FurCon goers just had your ears perk up after hearing that, by the way. And depending on how much time you donate via volunteering, the rewards can actually increase. And as I said before, due to how much the fandom has grown over the years, volunteering is very important and necessary, even more so than it once was. However, if you are simply just not willing to volunteer, don't worry, this doesn't make you an asshole. It's completely understandable. Some of us just aren't built for that. Fair enough. Just understand that furry convention runners and staff are doing the best with what they have. So please be understanding and tolerant of FurCon runners as well as FurCon staff. I'm looking at you, Twitter side of the furry fandom. Now, another way of helping out would be contributing to smaller furry conventions that are less known, but as long as you support them and enough people support them for long enough, those furry conventions will begin to grow. And as long as we as a community are careful and we behave, we can gain the trust of other hotels that may be willing to host us. And if the furry convention hotel is larger, then obviously the size issue will not be that big of a problem. If the place is bigger, of course. Which for that, we will need to build trust. But aside from that, yeah. I do have other videos about furry conventions if you are interested. Before I end this video though, I do want to make a quick announcement. It's going to be important for my YouTube channel. Alright, I'll keep this short and straight to the point, but first, some context. See, 2 months ago, I started using AI for music, because my voice wasn't singing worthy, due to it not being trained enough for it. But my writing was good enough to make music lyrics, so I decided to have AI sing my lyrics on my behalf. And because music is separate from digital and traditional art, I saw no issue with this. And you can take a look at every single one of my current YouTube videos, including the very old ones. You will not find a single AI-generated artwork, because, well, I don't agree with AI art being art. The reason why I didn't see it that way with music is because obviously music and drawings are separate. They're not the same thing. This, combined with my lyrics being, well, written by me, made me think there is no issue with it. Just in case you didn't know, some of my oldest now deleted videos, which have been re-uploaded to my second backup channel as a way of archiving it, I have been writing since I was a child. So writing things for me is actually quite easy. It's just, singing it that is the issue. But as time went by, not only did I just not want to use AI anymore, I just didn't feel right using it anymore as well. I know it will not change the fact that AI music is here to stay, but it's not about change, But it's not about whether I can change that or not. Now again, because music and drawing are separate, it didn't feel wrong at first, but as time went by, I just didn't agree with it anymore. Now, these videos right here also played a part in it. To put it simply, I don't want to use AI related stuff anymore. I want to go back to what I actually love doing. Making content about the furry fandom and nerdy stuff. No more AI crap. And although I don't plan on making extra science and history related videos, later on maybe I would be interested in doing it again, at least once per month or something. But aside from that, the YouTube channel is going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be content related to the furry fandom in one way or another. As for already posted AI music, I'm going to delete all of them, and I'm not going to archive them on the second channel. I'm just going to delete them forever and get rid of them. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say for today. Don't support AI. But aside from all of that, thank you very much for watching. And if you have any questions about the furry fandom, especially ones that I could potentially turn into a video, then go ahead and ask them. Or, now I think about it, just ask any question you feel like, man. I don't mind. Go ahead and ask.